Well, today, since we're trying to get this pig to kick off, and you can pour gas in it and she tries to hit, but that pump is not pumping. It's spurting. Just every once in a while, I get a spurt of gas, not enough to feed that carburetor. So today, I'm going to show you how to change a fuel pump out. And since we got everything's off the front of this thing, it makes it really easy to show you how to do it. So let's get to it. This is how to change fuel pump out on a, this will go with Chevy, Ford, Chrysler, whatever it is. It's basically the same process no matter what. So let me show you how to do this. I actually have this one already in the box that I already bought. This is from O'Reilly's, and it's just a plain Jane $17 Chevrolet small block fuel pump. One in, one out. So I'm going to show you how to change this out. And it comes with instructions. It comes with the gaskets you need. So these are pretty simple. But we're just going to slap this on just to get this truck fired. And then it's coming back off and going back in the box. Okay, now this is pretty simple. There's one line here. This is the fuel line. As you can see it moving. That's the hard line from the pump, which that's here. That bolts in, that runs that fuel. Because factory, it'll go up underneath the alternator to the front of the carburetor pre-bent. That's how they come. But this is an aftermarket kind of done deal. Then you have your inlet, which is where we're going to hook up to the jug. And then there's going to be a gasket here, which looks like it's already got a brand new one on it. But I want to tell you about these bolts. Now, these bolts are special bolts that GM made for these fuel pumps and only for these fuel pumps, because there isn't enough room to get back here sometimes with the exhaust manifolds and everything in place, like this spark plug wire in the way. So it's a 7/16 or 11 millimeter, which I'm using right now, 11 millimeter, and a 1/4 inch drive. And because you don't have to put a lot of oomph on these, but these bolts are specific. They have a 3/8 thread for strength, but they have a 7/16 head on them. They're special. And anytime I get a hold of these, I have a Ziploc bag in my toolbox full of these, because that's what I'm talking about. That is a specific bolt for a Chevy fuel pump. 3/8 threads, which would be a 9/16 head normally, but it's got a 7/16 head on it to fit in the side of the pump. Because like here, if you put a 3/8 head on this, you wouldn't be able to get a socket on it. That's why they're made specifically for this. If you find these, keep them, because they're gold, because you'll pay dearly to get one of these new from a dealer or from a factory or for like LMC truck. That's why I probably have 10 sets of these in a Ziploc bag in my toolbox, just because. All right, now, yeah, she's pretty old. This is an older one. Yeah, she's been used quite a bit. Okay, so she's just gotten weak over time. Now, right in here, you'll see there's a rod right in here. That's your push rod. A little shiny thing right there. That's your push rod that will actually engage and work this. It pushes against that and pumps it. And if you think about it in your head, if you've ever been to a well and you pumped a well head, that's the same thing you're doing here. And this is Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, whatever it is, they all basically have the same design. Now, all the Chevys and some of the Fords have a push rod. Oh, some of the Chryslers have a push rod. The Fords, they run off a pulley, an offset pulley on the timing gear. That has, the Fords will have a rod real big, but it'll do the same process. It's just a pump, just like a wellhead, like a water pump. But the thing is, you have to slip this into that slot and get underneath that rod. So that rod it's a machine fit, but it's already slipped down. So we're going to take a screwdriver and we're going to reach in here and we're just going to push that rod up, get a hold of it and get it shoved back up. Now, like on a big block Chevy, there's a port that has a little plug in it. You can just pull it out and push it up. But on a small block, you have to get this thing worked back up out of the way. And sometimes it's a complete pain, but it can be done. You just have to take your time. See right there. I got it. It's already moving. Yep. Okay. Now, see, I don't know if you can see, I don't have my light, but it's pushed all the way up. You can see it moving there with the deal. So, all right, I want to show you a super uber duper secret trick. Okay. Now here underneath here, I know there ain't a lot of light, but there is a bolt right here, bolt head. And I don't know if you guys have watched the channel, you've heard me talk about the little short stubby bastards. Okay. What we're going to do is this is just a plug for the oil drainage for this rod. So sometimes they're a pain in the butt, and you'll see it just a little short one, right? So this bolt, I'll get a wrench. Anyway, so this bolt is just a oil stop, and what we're going to use a longer one to basically thread in there and put it up against that rod once it's up in place, so it doesn't slip down again. So I'm gonna pull that one out, put this one in the hole, and all you're doing is once you get it up, you just take it and you just give it just a little twist, just to hold it. Make your life easier on yourself. So we'll put this right here just to hold it up for temporary, and we'll get a shorter one. Like, share, subscribe, smash that bell, hit that button, tell your friends, check out unclebuckstuff.com. If you like a hat, since I've ruined a couple of these already so far. Y'all have a good day.
Mine's all ruined too.
Okay, and when you got that bolt in and it's holding the rod up, then basically all you're going to do is you're going to slip this rod underneath just like that. It's going to sit in the hole, and then we'll take the bolts and we'll bolt her up and tighten her down. Okay, now once you have it done, you basically have to leave it, there's going to be a gap in it, and you put start threading both of them on each side, and you work back and forth, drawing it up against the block, leaving this bolt in place until you're done, because there's that spring in that pump is very strong. You won't be able to compress it by hand. So basically you get the thread started, work a little here, work a little there, back and forth to draw it up onto the block. And then we'll just take this out and put that little stub back in, and then we'll connect the fuel line back to the cup and the rubber line back here, and then we'll start cranking the truck and getting some fuel up to that carburetor. First, we're going to take that out. Yep, and there it went. I don't know if you heard it, but you heard it pop against the piston against the arm in the fuel pump. So we'll take this out, put the short one back in, tighten that up, and then we'll see if we get some fuel to that filter. So that is how you change out a fuel pump. Fuel in, fuel out. Make sure that you work it in, make sure that rod is up. Now they're all basically the same thing. Chevy, Ford, Dodge. There are just little differences in them. The kind of pump rod they have, or whether they work off of a rod on the cam or work off a sprocket on the timing chain. But they're all the same premise. It's the same thing as a hand pump, like on a water well. You're just sucking fuel out of the tank and up to the carburetor. But that's how you change out a fuel pump. And we tried to fire this off today, but the starter died. So you can check out that video later, because I'm going to go to the store this week and get a starter replacement for it. I don't know if it's a Bendix or the starter itself, but we were just about to fire it off, and the starter quit hitting, and you can't even arc across it and get the hit. So it's either completely gone, stuck, broken, whatever, but we'll get it fixed, and we'll get it off, and we'll get it swapped out, and I will continue this. But if you're still here, like, share, subscribe, smash that button, hit that bell, tell your friends, and that is how you change a fuel pump. Y'all be good.